So I can't say no to a question.
If it is long, we can do it later.
No, it's okay. It's not that everybody has joined, so it's okay. So his question is in the Parinibbana Sutta, when he was coming near his end, he went into all the 9 jhanas and came back to 4 jhana. So the question is, why did he do that?
No, not only came back. He came back to first jhana and then went to fourth jhana.
Correct.
And from fourth jhana, he went to nirvana.
Correct. So, straightforward answer without adding, modifying, or explaining, or whatever it is. There are only 4 jhanas. There is no 9 jhanas. One straight, clear cut answer.
Yeah, I expected that answer.
Okay. But if you want some story and some masala and all that, I can add. Okay. But there are no 9 jhanas. And in fact,
You can ask now. I got the answer.
okay, I'm done then.
No, yeah. I mean, if you would want to explain a little bit more, but then otherwise it's okay.
No, the explanation here is, I want to explain, is that 5 plus 4, 9. In the 4, you have all the 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the Samannapala Sutta, it's only 4 jhanas. And even in the Upanishad, there are only 4 jhanas. There are no 9 jhanas. Got it. So it is, first jhana is wakeful state, waking state, Jagrata Avastha. Second jhana is the dream state, Sushupti. Third jhana is, dream state is Swapna Avastha. Sushupti is the deep sleep state. And the fourth state is Turiya. Okay, so when they used to come to this Turiya state or the Neva Sanya Ayatana, they couldn't cut because the 6 senses remain back. They didn't know what to do with it. Okay, so it will take you to the 31st realm of existence. So the practice here is, first you have to cut the feeling. To cut the feeling, you have to cut the perception. So you should have practiced so much animitta that when the consciousness gets out of the body, like what Delson was explaining in that video of Vimala Ramsi, when the consciousness comes out, it starts searching for existence. Any consciousness. There's Arhat consciousness or this consciousness, that consciousness, whatever it is. Now, as soon as the Arhat consciousness comes out, there is no fuel. So it just gets extinguished there. It's like you have a fire and fire is burning on the fuel. Due to the fuel, you remove the fuel, the fire extinguishes. In the same way, the defilements ended. Before death, the defilements are not there. So the consciousness now can jump out, saying that I am ready. That means it comes out, there's no fuel, it burns for a second and gone. Okay. So when Buddha wanted to do that, he is a Samma Sambuddha. So he knows he can get into all the existence and all the beings and all the things, whatever ever known. So that means Ukasa Loka, Sankhara Loka, Satta Loka, 3 Loka, knows it complete. So he needs to ensure that the Neva Sanya Nasanyayatana is cut off so that he gets into the 9th jhana, which is Sanya Vedete Nirodha. Once that happens, he has to come back to the first jhana, wakeful state of the mind. Now you can see the whole thing is getting burnt out. The second jhana is like a dream state where that entire dream mansion is gone. Then he comes to the third jhana where it totally extinguishes whatever remains. Sushupti, or a deep sleep trance state. So for a second he was in a trance and then it extinguishes. Now when Mahakassapa came, they couldn't burn, get him into ashes. The body couldn't be burnt. That means the consciousness was waiting for Mahakassapa to arrive. Because he wanted to give the baton to him. He waited, extinguished. Got the point? So the first thing he did was to cut the neva sanya, nasanya ayatana. Then the perception and feeling came back to the fourth jhana to look at Mahakassapa's arrival. When he arrived, he left. Got it. This is the detailed explanation of the shortest thing.
Wow, it's amazing. He waited for Mahakassapa.
Yeah, that's there. No, that is also recorded in the. Okay. Now the reason why we are here. Let's. Ashutosh, you have any questions on that? Okay. Yes, but you are on mute, so that's the reason I asked you the question. Ashutosh, you have raised your hand and it's on mute.
No, sir, I don't have any questions. So, I missed it happen.
Okay. So now we come to the Sanghā. Now, what is a Sanghā? Yes. Yeah, you had something?
No, Chirag still have some questions.
No. Let's start on the.
No, it's
Sanghā.
okay. It's okay. So let us first specify the questions in life.
No. I think the questions are not that important as this session, the Sanghā talk. So, I mean, let's say I didn't understand 100% of whatever you said. So I was telling Eru that after this session is over, I might ask you some questions. That's it. Yeah. Ask Eru. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're asking Aryu, then I have no problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now coming to the Sanghā. Sanghā is Supatipanno, Bhagavato, Savaka Sangho, like that, the entire qualities of the Sanghā. Uchupatipanno, Bhagavato, Savaka Sangho, Samichi Patipanno, Bhagavato, Savaka Sangho, Nyaya Patipanno, Bhagavato, Savaka Sangho, Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani, Atta Purisa Puggala, Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ahunayo, Pahunayo, Dakkinayo, Anjali Karaneyo, Anuttaram Punya Khyattam Punyasa iti. So this I can recite it and nothing is going to happen in life. Because neither I know what it is, nor I have experience of the Sanghā. Okay, so to experience the Sanghā, you should experience Ratana Sutta. Okay. So we will recite it and I'll recite it. And then by chance, if you get tears in your eyes at the end of it, that means you have got the Sanghā. So it turns you emotional. I'm giving you a pre-warning. There's one sutta which can make a real person get into tears. Because he can see the entire thing, entire suffering of all the beings at once. And then he feels very happy that he has a Sanghā through which he can share his whatever he has. Right? So then what happens is that if we have a proper Sanghā, it doesn't make that it is mine or myself or whatever. It removes that identity itself. So when we say a Sotapanna and he's in a Sanghā, it means that he doesn't have his own identity. If there's Sakadagami, he doesn't have an identity. And Anagami doesn't have an identity. And so the Arhat. They literally don't have any identity because the Sakkaya Ditti is not there. So the Puttujana to be added into the Sanghā is a process, but after he becomes a Sotapanna, that's automatic. It starts. Okay. So there was lot of issues in one part of the land in India, and a lot of people were dying. So Ananda approaches Buddha saying that you are aware that problem is there. He says yes. Is there a way to help them? He says yes. To take the Sanghā and go. It works. And the Sanghā is what is the Ratana Sutta is all about. So, Yani da bhutani samagatani bhumani va yani va antalikke sabbeva bhuta sumana bhavantu athopi sakkhacha sunantu bhasitam tasmahi bhuta nisameta sabbe mettam karota manasiya pajaya divacharatto cha haranti balim tasmahi rakhatta appamatta. So let me give an explanation here itself rather than completing it and coming back. It's a long one. So yani the bhutani samagatani, all the beings which have assembled here, that is whatever is seen and unseen. Bhumani va yani va antalikke. Bhumani is earth beings, and yani va antalikke is antariksha, which is space or universe. Sabbeva bhuta subhana bhavantu. So bhuta is what has become. So all that which have become something. Become. Sumana bhavantu. Sumana. Su is good and mana is mind. So let their mind be peaceful. Athopi sakkhacha sunantu bhasitam. So sakkhacha is to hear. Athopi sakkhacha sunantu bhasitam is that listen carefully to what I am saying. Tasmahi bhutha nisameta sabbe mettam karota manusa pajaya. Tasmahi bhuta nisameta sabbe. That is all that which has become. Try to understand this. Mettam karotha manusaya pajaya. Yes. Be very compassionate or be very kind to the humans. Divacharatto cha haranti balim. They are offering to you whatever they want to offer. Okay. Bali is offering. Divacharatto cha haranti bali means that literally they are struggling to offer something to you. You as gods, you as Brahma, you as whatever higher beings you are, these humans are struggling to give something to you. Tasmahi me rakhata appamatta. Therefore, being heedful, you must protect them. Yam kinchi vittam idavahuram va sagge suvayam ratanam panitam nano sama atti tatagatena itampi buddhe ratanam panitam itena saccena suvatti hotu khayam viragam amatam panitam yadajjaga sakya muni samahito natena dhammena samatti kinchi idampi dhamme ratanam panitam itena saccena suvatti hotu yam buddha setto parivanyai suchim samadhimanyantare kanyamahu samadhina tena samona vijjati idampi dhamme ratanam panitam itena saccena suvatti hotu ye puggala atta satampa chattari etani yugani honti te dhakkeneyya sugatassa savaka ete sudinnani mahappalani idampi sanghe ratanam panitam etena saccena suvatti hotu. Let us go through this. Yam kinchi vittam idam pahuram va sagge suvayam ratanam panitam. So whatever riches that can be considered. here or elsewhere in the human, that excellent treasure. Na no samam atti tathagatena idam pi buddhe ratanam panitam. It's not even worth 1/16th of the part of what is can be called as riches. So it's not equal to the Tathagata, excellent treasure in the Buddha. So let's say if I make my mind head as Buddha, no matter what riches are there, they get burnt out. Etena satchena suvatti hotu. Because of this one single truth, may there be protection. Khayam viragam amatam panitam yadajjaga sakya muni samahito. Khaya viragam. Khaya is reducing. Viraga is passionate. Amatam, he has seen the deathless. Panitam, he has profound knowledge of that. Yadajjaga sakya samahito. So the Sakyan sage has already accomplished that. And I know he has accomplished it. Yes.
Yeah, can you explain the part, the Ittana Satchena Suvati Hotu? Like, is it just, a way of saying, may this be true or something like that? Or
No, you really experience it. So,
okay.
so
Yeah.
you have to look at what is Buddha. So if you look at Buddha, is that then I have to actually rewind back for you. So there are Vijja and Charana, two things what different the Buddha. Vijja is that he has a knowledge of 6 things, and the Charana Dhamma are 10 in numbers. Okay. So just to put it on a right, this one is that one should be able to see all the worlds. So it's called Divya Chakku or Divya Drishti in Sanskrit, or divine eye. Then he should be able to hear everything, not only humans, everything. Every damn creature which is become or not become. So that, and then he should be able to understand the minds of all beings. Should be able to read the chitta of everything. Okay, then he should be able to see the arising and passing away of the being. Then he should be able to see all the past life of not only his, but every being, whether they are born here or not born, yet to be born, and whichever realm they are in, able to see that. Last one is has known that the defilement has ended, and he can teach how to end the defilement. These are the Vijja. And the Charana Dhamma is that Sila, that is morality. Then he has Indriya Samvara, guarding the sense doors. He has taught how to guard the sense doors. And if you are able to do it, you can exactly experience what Buddha is saying. So you don't have to believe by blind faith. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he has said so, so I will do it. No. You'll exactly experience that. And third one is that Bhojana Matyanutta, moderation in eating. So looking at why we are eating and what's the need for eating. And then that creates a condition that the lust doesn't come while eating. So you feel contented. Then the fourth and the final one is the Jagariyanu Yoga, that is wakefulness instead of sleepiness. And then comes Saddha, faith, Sati, mindfulness, Hiri, moral dread, Ottappa, moral shame, Bahusaccha, knowing the truth as it is. Then Virya, energy, Panya is the knowledge, wisdom. Then first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So this total together becomes the 15 Charana Dhammas. So when I am saying that yam kinchi vittam idam vahuram va saggesu va yam ratanam panitam, if I put that, if I have these 15 treasures with me, no other treasure can match it. right? And because there is no sama, equal, nano samam atti tathagatena idampi buddham ratanam panitam. So if I were to stick with Buddha Dhamma, panitam is profound, is because that this is the case, because it's something not available anywhere else. So let's say I have morality. The moment you become moral, the universe starts appreciating you. And you can see it. And it's not that I need to have a blind faith about it. You can see it for yourself. Actually, all of this will remove the greed from life because it's ignorance. So once the greed is gone, the hatredness is gone. And when the greed and hatredness goes away, the moha, the delusion wouldn't be there. And looking that is true, etena satchena suvatti hotu. Because of that, there can't be anything other than protection. Now we come to the next one. Khayam viragam amatam panitam yadajjaga sakya muni samahito natena dhammena samatti kinchi idampi dhamme ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. So yesterday or day before yesterday we have taken the Dhamma. What is Dhamma? So Khayam viragam amatam panitam. So anybody following the Dhamma will get Khaya, Viraga, Amata and Panita. These four things is going to get. Yadajjaga Sakya Muni Samahita. This is what the Sakya king had attained. Natena Dhammena Samatti Kinchi. There is no Dhamma in this world which can match in Khaya, Viraga, Amata, Panita. So, Khaya is Kshaya, which is diminishing of the Sanghā, craving. So what happens is etan santan etan panitan yadidam sabba sankhara samato sabbupadi patini saggo tana khaya viraga nirodho nibbana is amata, and that is panita. Etan santan etam panita yadajjaga sakya muni samahito. There is nobody who can teach like this. The entire etena satchena suvatti hotu. And this ratana, what Dhamma is a ratana. Why ratana? Because you don't have to go by blind following, or you don't have to go by atomic theories. That I think I'm breaking this, I'm breaking that. No. There are only four things he has taught. One is 6 dhatus, 6 qualities, basically like earth quality, water quality, like that. Then 6 senses. And because of six senses, there are 18 ways of seeing life. So either I see with do manasa, so manasa, upekha, that is mental pleasure, mental pain, and neutrality. So I can really see that. I don't have to guess. And the third one is about seeing how the thing comes to be with this mental occupation. That is the Four Noble Truths. Okay. And hence, nobody can beat it. And hence, safeguard. Then, Yam Buddha Setto Parivanyayi Suchim Samadhim Manam Anantarikanam Ahuhu Samadhina Tena Samona Vijjati Idampi Dhamme Ratanam Panitam Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu. Yam Buddha Setto. Setta is Shrestha in Sanskrit. Most Shrestha is most valuable. Parivanyayi Suchim. Anybody can praise the Buddha. How? Even today, if anybody draws the Buddha, he cannot miss the smile. And he will make his face peaceful. No matter where you see it, how you see it, when you see it, whoever draws it, they can never draw a Buddha face in a frown way. whether they are Buddhist or non-Buddhist or whatever that is. They just cannot. You just see, that's a fun part. You buy the idol in any part of the world, you'll get the same kind. The Buddha smile is something where nobody can beat it. Samadhim manantarikandhamahu. That is, because of the samadhi what he gained, the 9 jhanas, because of that, this smile has appeared. Which nobody can beat it. Okay. Samadhina tena samona vijjati idampi dhamme ratanam panitam. Because of this samadhi, there is no sama, na vijjati. There can't be anyone beyond this knowledge. Idampi dhamme ratanam panitam. With that, the Dhamma ends. So ultimately, the 4 things what he has taught, if you were to do it, you are completed the Dhamma. Very simple. 6 dhatus, 6 senses, 18 mental preoccupations with 4 noble truths. That's it. Now comes to the Puggala. Puggala is the person who has come into the refuge of Buddha Dhamma, Buddha and Dhamma, and entering into the Sanghā. So now it starts our life, basically. Ye Puggala atta satam pasatta chattari etani yugani honti te dakkhinayas sugatasya savaka etesu dinnani mahaphalani idampi sange ratanam panitam etena saccena suvatti hotu. So now there are 8 individuals. E Puggala atta satam pasatta. There are these 8 praised individuals. So the person sitting next to you is a Sotapanna. Let's say. Now if you serve him, your obstacles will be released. You don't have to do anything. That is how this whole equation works. So how do you know that Hariyu is a Sotapanna? Let's say. He should have faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and his Sila. Okay. Now if I were to see whatever he is trying to do is one part, but his idea of coming here and doing something, the way he is buying things and saying that it's all for the Dhamma or for Sangha, that itself proves the point that not about what he is bringing as dollars or rupees or whatever. Leaving that aside, the mindset that I want to be in Buddha Dhamma only, nothing else. That dedication, let's say, without doubt. So he doesn't have a doubt. He's not following a ritual. And to a certain extent, he would have understood all the 5 aggregates. That means he cannot be fooled by anything. So let's say somebody gives him $10 million and says that enjoy this, and he might not. I don't know. He has to answer. I'm just thinking that is what he's going to do. Okay. So now what he thinks is that he wants less and he doesn't want so much of comforts and he's contented. That's basically what it is. So now if somebody serves that kind of an individual, his obstacles are gone. So like that, this whole thing is, so the Puggala, that is Arya Puggala, means a person who has come on this dispensation. Somebody gets involved with it, they get transformed. So that's how this whole transformation works. So chattari etani yugani honti. In the yuga, that is in each one of these life cycles which appears, these 4 individuals are going to be there. That is Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat. These 4 people are going to be there. Te dakkhineya sugatasya savaka yetesu dinnani mahaphalani. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sort of confused. So I think in the previous one we were talking about 8 people, right?
Yes,
This one we're talking about
4
4:
people.
Sotapanna, Sakadgami, Anagami, and Arhant, right?
Arhat, yes.
So
Where
yeah,
did the other 4 go?
huh?
Where
Yeah.
did the other 4 go?
I mean, it's not that important a question. I'm trying to understand what are these 2 lines trying to say. So I think what you're saying is if you know someone who is Sotapanna, Sakadgami, and so on, if you serve to them, your obstacles get removed. Uh, so that's what Satam Pasatha means. Uh, can you repeat what Satam Pasatha means?
Pasatha is to see.
Okay.
Sata is to praise, to see the good quality.
Okay. So whoever is able to see the good qualities in these people, okay.
You will be, who are these 8 people? So it's a good question. So let me answer to that. Otherwise, that will remain. How the 8 became 4? Did they were eaten by some snakes or something like that? So the first one is an anugami. That is, he is interested in the path. Let's say, Chirag, you get so transformed, you feel that I need to be in this. That's a stage of an anugami. Anugami means a person who has made up his mind. He has not got the fruit as yet, but he has made up his mind that this is something I need to be in. It's not about conversion. It's not about what's that, brainwashing or whatever it is. Not like that, or changing of ideology or whatever. You genuinely feel that this is something I need to be. So this anugamis are 4. So Sotapanna Anugami, Sakadagami Anugamis, and then Anagami Anugami, and Arhat Anugami. 4. So that means they are yet to get the fruit, but they are on the path, and the path and friction both have to happen. Okay, so a person who has got the fruit is a Sotapanna, or a Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat. A person who is on the path yet not got the fruit is an Anugami. Follower, meaning Anugami is a follower. Straight way of putting it. So, Satam Pasatta is that when you see, they are praised. Okay, let's see what would be the quality of that. Let's say, take again Aryu as an example, that he wanted to come. Hundreds of obstacles can come. One, he would see that, the cost is $2,564. Should I spend so much money for a flight? Let me check for most cheapest flights. Anybody would do that. $1,500 is a good amount to spend, not $2,500. It's a madness to pay $1,000 more for a flight ticket to Bangalore. He is not meeting any arhat here. First place to say that, okay, let me blast this whole thing off and come. So somebody would think that $800 to $1,500 is a good enough to spend. Why spend so much? So I'll go to Doha, or I'll go some other place, wait in the airport for another 8 hours, and then that reduces the cost. Right. And this guy didn't do that. He could have done it. Even a multimillionaire would think twice to think that, should I spend so much money on something like a flight ticket? But he didn't think. He just booked. Doesn't matter. The previous sentence, it said that no matter how much you have wealth, that is not even 1/16th part of that. It literally works that way. Right. So I informed another Dhamma friend, Matt, who wanted to send some money. I told him you send it through Harry, because that is going to relieve you from not getting a job. And sooner he should get the job. That works. So serving Harry would be the right thing for anyone, at least in that part of the world. And here also people who can serve the Arya Puggala in some way, not that they have to wash their legs or whatever it is. That's not the service. It's about being with them, and then that That is sufficient than anything else. You don't have to do any material comforts or whatever. Just making sure that you are with them makes a lot of changes. So he says that Chattari etani yugani honti. In each yuga, in each cycles, you will find these 4 people. E dakhineya sugatasya savaka etesu dinnani mahaphalani. These disciples of the holy, happy ones or the holy ones who can be given gifts. So, if somebody were to gift a Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat, than a normal individual, just I go and gift somebody, it's good, but this is unmatched. So now, should you send so many gifts? It's not like that. It's not about quantification. It's not about saying that I will give this much or that much. It's not at all that. Whatever you think, that's it. Over. Whatever you can get rid of, and with an intention that may my obstacle go away from me by gifting this noble person. Okay, so that's what it says here. Te dakhineya sugatasya savaka eteshu dinnani mahaphalani. Now what happens? If you give $1, you get $10 worth of returns from that person. If you were to quantify, if you don't, just to give you a thing. So if somebody who is a puttujana, that is just a normal worldling, were to gift Aryu, by the noble thing, he gets 10 times more than what he could have ever thought about. And that's a fact. And says that idampi sange ratanam panitam itena satchena suvatti hotu. Because he's part of the Sangha, it will get protected. Yes, Shreyas. Is this connected to karma? Well, don't bring this karma into existence right now. Then we have to go into the Titayatana Sutta. So we already covered that. Let me finish this Ratana Sutta. I don't think so. This itself will get completed today. Okay. So the next line. E suppayutta manasa dalhena. I think I didn't read this. I didn't recite it. E suppayutta manasa dalhena nekkamino gotamasasanam hi te patti patta amatam vighaya daddhamudhani bhuttim bhunjamana idampi sanghe ratanam panitam yetena satchena suvatti hotu यथिन्दखिलो पटविंसितोऽसिया चतुर्विवातेहि असम्पकम्पियो ततोपमं सप्पुरिसं वदामि यो अर्यसच्चानि अवच्च पश्यति इदम्पि सङ्गे रतनं पनीतं ये तेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु ये अर्यसच्चानि विभावयन्ति गम्भीरपन्येन सुदेशितानि किञ्चापि ते होन्ति भुसप्पमत्ता न ते भवम् अट्ठमम् आदियन्ति इदम्पि सङ्गे रतनं पनीतं ये तेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु सः वत्सदस्सन सम्पदाय तयस्सु धम्मा जहिता भवन्ति सखाय धिट्टि विशिकिच्चितञ्च शीलबतं वापि यद अत्ति किञ्चि चतुपपाहेहि विपमुत्तयुक्तो चाबितानानि अभब्बो कातुम् इदम्पि सङ्गे रतनं पनीतं ये तेन सच्चेन सुवत्ति होतु. So let's go back. Ye suppayutta manasadalena. Suppayutta, su is good. Uppayutta is one who has made up his mind. Manasa dalhena, that is, cannot be shaken. This way or that way. Nikkamino gotama sasanam hi. So, nikkamino. Kamina is with some kamana, is some kind of desire. So, in the Nepal, there is a temple called Manokamana temple. So you go there, put all your thoughts to that Devi and say that, Devi, please do this for me, please do that for me. In the case of Buddha, there is no way you can do that. Ikkamino, Gotama Sasanam hi. In that dispensation. Te patipatta amatam vighaya ladha mudani buddhim bunjamana. So those who have attained ladha muddha nibuddhim. Ladha is something they have got the gift of their past. This treasure. Muddha nibuddhim bunjamana. Of what? Amatam. Deathless. So they have got the gift, they are emancipated, they are gained. Punjamana, they are enjoying it. Okay. Idhampi sange ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti. So let's take Angulimala as an example. Even though he had killed so many people, his original name is Ahinsaka, and he had promised his teacher that he will give 1,000 fingers as Guru Dakshina. So you see the problem with a teacher and a student. The teacher shouldn't be so corrupted to ask somebody to kill or do whatever it is and get me that. So his name is Ahimsaka. But to make sure that his promise to the teacher is fulfilled, he kills 999 people for the finger. And since he was putting around his neck, it's called Angulimala. And then Buddha speaks to him when he says, why don't you stop? And Buddha says, I've stopped a long time ago. I'm getting tears. So the basic thing is, if you are on the path, you can see the deathless happening in front of you. And he stops. And when the king Pasendra asks for Angulimala, and Buddha says that, do you know where is Angulimala? He says he's a very dreaded dacoit and it's very difficult to catch him. And Buddha says that I have caught him. Can you show him? And Buddha shows that Angulimala sitting there. So, no matter what you have done in the past, if there is a transformation, it's a permanent transformation. And that gets into the Sanghā. And hence, Jampi Sange Ratanam Panitam Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu. Yathinda Khilo Patavim Sitosiya Chatubhivatehi Asampa Kampiyo. Yathinda Khilo. Khila is a post. Yathinda Khilo Patavim. Patavi is earth. Sitosiya, one who has dug enough to keep this pole in a tight place. Chatubhivatehi Asampi Kampiyo. A wind coming from north or south or east or west cannot shake this. In the same way, Taptupamam Sappurisam Vadami Yo Ariya Satchani Avecha Passati. Tatu Upama. Upama is an example. Tatu Upamam Sappurisam Vadami. These are the Sappurisha. Satpurusha. Noble people. Yo Ariya Satchani Avecha Passati. So they have seen the Four Noble Truths. You can't fool them. You can't shake them. Idampi sange ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. Ye ariya satchani vibhavayanti gambhira pannene sudesitani kinchapite honte busappa matta nate bhavam attamam adiyanti. Idampi sange ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. Ye ariya satchani vibhavayanti. So one who can distinguish by dividing it. Vibhava. Bhava is to become. Vibhava is cutting it off. Gambira pannena sudesitani. So they can find the distinction between a noble person and a non-noble person, even though they are wearing the same amount of dress. If you are able, and you will be able to find, because they are Gambira pannena sudesitani. They have deep knowledge of the Dhamma. So they cannot be shaken. So I was asking my wife this morning, I'll just tell you an example. So they, in every religion, especially the Hindu religion, if I were to take, there is a statement in everything saying that God give us, what is that? Jnana Bhakti Vairagya. In the mantra. So I was asking my wife, how do you get jnana? What's the process? And how do you get bhakti? And how do you get vairagya? These three things. And most of the time, people would be clueless. They have the terms, but they don't know what it belongs to. But here, you can't be like that at all. So, kinchapite honti busappa matta nate bhavam attamam adiyanti. That is, kinchapite honti busappa matta. They think they are heedless like a sotapanna. They bhavam attamam adiyanti. That means they can't take the eighth existence. No matter how much they are acting like fools. So between a fool and an astute, Bala and Pandita, even they are looking like a fool enjoying the senses. Still, the chitta is so much pure that they can't take beyond 8 existence. That means 7. And because it is true, idampi sange ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hot. Next. Sahavassadasana sampadaya tayassu dhamma jahita bhavanti sakhaya ditti vichikichitancha silabbatam vapi yada attikinchi chatu apayehi vipamuttayutto chachabitanani abhabbokatum idampi sange ratanam panitam yetena satchena suvatti hotu. Sahavassadasana sampadaya. He has got it through his own merits. He has seen it. Tayassu dhamma jahita bhavanti. This triad dhamma. What is triad dhamma? Can you tell me? Tri dhamma. No idea? Stumped.
You don't mean the three samyojana next to it, right?
Yes, Kayadamman. No. Kayadamma, Viragadamma, Nirodhadamma. That is not the answer. Raga, Dvesha, Moha are the 3 dhammas. Jahita bhavanti. That's given up. Sakhaya ditti visikichitancha silabbatam vapi yada attikinchi. So Sakhaya ditti, we know what it is. Self-view, vichikicha is doubt, silabatta paramasa is thinking that by being virtuous and following the practices will get in. Cha chabithani. abhabbokatum. He will not create 6 crimes. What are the 6 crimes? Do you know? Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
The three Dhamma you said, and then opposite of that. Raga, araga, dosa, moha, amoha.
No, that is a root. This is 6 crimes. Killing a father, killing a mother, killing an arhat, injuring an arhat, causing schism in the Sanghā. Okay. Idampi Sanghē ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. Okay, now the singing. Kinchapi sokam mam karoti papakam kayena vacha udacheta sava abhabboto tassa patichadaya abhabbata ditta padassa vutta idampi sange ratanam panitam yetena satchena suhatti hotu Vanappa gumbe yata pussitagge gimhanamase patamasmim gimhe tatupamam dhamma varam adesai nibbanagamim paramam hitaya idampi buddhe ratanam panitam yetena satchena suvatti hotu Varo varanyo varado varaharo anuttaro dhamma varam adesai idampi buddhe ratanam panitam yetena satchena suvatti hotu Hinam puranam navam natti sambhavam viratta chitta ayatike bhavasmim Thekhina bhija virullichanda nibbanti dhira yatayam padipo idampi sange ratanam panitam yetena satchena suvatti hotu. So kinchapi so kammam karoti papakam kayena vacha udacheta sava. Whatever bad action there that he performs by way of body or speech or the mind. Abhabboto tassa patichadaya abhabbata ditta padassa vutta. He cannot cover it up. He will openly say that I have done this mistake. And he is having incapacity because he doesn't want to compromise with peace. So if he is rude, he says I am rude. If he is lying, he says I have lied. Irrespective of the consequence. Because he has moral dread and moral shame. Hiri and Ottappa. That covers him up. So idampi sange ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. All the if we call a Sanghā, they have this. Kinchapi so kammam karoti papakam kayena vacha udacheta sava abhabboto tassa patichadaya abhabbata ditta padassa utta. So they come and say that I have done this mistake. Do whatever you think you should do. Deal with me in whatever way. And that is a great virtue. Then vanappa gumbe yata pussitagge gimhana mase patamasmim gimhe. Just like a tall wood, heartwood tree crowned with blossoms of summer months in the early summer. Tata upamam, that is as a simile. Dhamma varam adesai nibbana gamim paramam hitaya. In the same way, when the Dhamma is preached, it takes him to that tree which will give him like that flowers and fruits, which is Nibbana. And that is done by the Buddha. So idampi buddhe ratanam panitam etena satchena suvatti hotu. Varo varanyo varado varaharo anuttaro dhamma varam adesai. Vara is one who can bless. Varanyu, one who knows what to bless. Varado, one who can give. Varaharo, the best in giver. Anuttaro, one who surpassed. Dhammavaram Adesai, he has preached the Dhamma. It's the best thing you can ever have. Idampi buddhe ratanam panitam itena satchena suvatti hotu. By this giving of the Buddha, he has cured the disease once and for all. Because of that, Khinam Puranam Navam Natti Sambhavam Viratta Chitta Ayatike Bhavasmim. Khinam Puranam, this is a beautiful thing. Whatever you have carried in the past will get burnt right here, right now. Navam Natti Sambhavam, cannot take the next stance. Viratta Chitta Ayatike Bhavasmim. Their mind are unexcited by the future rebirth. Yes, Sachin. You're on mute.
This Khinam Puranam Navam Natti Sambhavam is many times spoken by Goenkaji. But in the context that old Sankhara is gone, new Sankhara is not being made. But is that correct, or it's about defilement, right?
Defilement. Khinam Puranam Navam Natti Sambhavam. Those defilements cannot do anything any longer. Viratta Chitta Ayatike Bhavasmi, because they don't even exist in the Chitta to do something.
So we should say Kilesa instead of Sankhara.
Yes. Te Khina Bija Avirilu Chanda Nibbanti Dhira Yata Yam Padipo. They have destroyed the seeds. That's the reason it says Ke Khina Bija Avirilu Chanda. The seeds are there, but the potentiality is removed. Just like somebody in the summer months put the seed upstairs in the sun, it gets dried up. Once it gets dried up, it can't be used. Even if you put it in the ground, it doesn't, not having any thing to come up and have no desire to growth. That means it cannot. Nibbanti dhira, that is jati, sanjati, vakkanti, abhinibatti. That one we are talking. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, I had a question, but I don't know if you finished explaining to Sachin.
I think I'm done with Sachin.
Okay. Yeah, I think on this same again, like what I'm reading here is, you had something open. So the old is ended, nothing new is produced. What is the cause of that? That, nothing new is produced. Like this is the effect of something. What is the state, or what is the condition?
Below line itself talks about Te Khina Bija Avirulu Chanda. There are no seeds. So when the seeds are destroyed, where it will bring a new one.
And the seeds are destroyed because we are practicing the right moral behavior. So, okay. So basically, we just guard the sense doors, that's sufficient. Then, there's no seed because we are constantly guarding the sense door.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Nibbanti dhira yata yam padipo. Just like the lamp, light in the lamp goes away, never to come back. In the same way, this happens.
I think in that context, now we have to understand something. I understood, but I will repeat. He explained me sometime that you like Angulimal, he has killed 99 people, 999 people. But within an instant moment, in Hindi we call it karma ko jala dena, burning the karma. So we are not finishing the karma by experiencing it. So otherwise, Angulimal should have been killed 999 times. Because he killed that many people. So he himself must be killed by 999 times. Minimum. But he is not killed even, he was just stoned by people. So it is reduced that much. Because he was burned, all those beads are burned because he was not giving a ground for them to come up.
To sprout.
So the beads or the seeds are burned because of a realization. So what I'm thinking is, let's say, this whole thing is about guarding the sense door. So is that like you have to constantly be on guard, or let's say you have a realization and the guarding becomes automatic?
Once you realize the guarding, you don't have to guard. It's like you are asking like this. The cow is grazing the fields, all the fields, and now you have put a boundary. The cow can only go within the boundary. It can't go anywhere else other than the boundary. Now the question comes whether the cow requires guard. No. If somebody is having a sheep, a flock of sheep, and he puts a guard around and ensures that it doesn't go into the wild where tiger or lion or cheetah or leopard can eat. So then this shepherd can sleep. In the same way, once you start guarding the senses, it will not go and graze.
Or he hire a shepherd dog.
That's correct. But just like you have to put a fence for the sheep, the same way you have to put the fence for the five senses. If you put the fence for five senses, they can only graze within that. It can't graze anywhere else. See, where is this greed coming in? The greed comes in the sight. When Aryu arrives with the bag load of gifts, first sight. Wow! That wow feeling is on the eyes, grazing. It's literally enjoying. So even before Aryu opens up the bag and hands over the gift to me, I've already shamelessly enjoyed it. Got the point? I've made it taint, not taint free. I've made it taint. So no matter what Aryu gives me, it's a tainted thing. It's already with a taint. So if I were to wish him, may all your obstacle goes away, it's with taint. So his tour of India is a waste. And that karma is on me because I have created a new bija. That doesn't affect him. He's innocent. But that affects me. The idiot who asked for the gifts. So when somebody is donating, the donor doesn't have a problem. The recipient has a problem. If he has greed, that catches him. So the new seed gets created. So what I should do then? Do you mean to say that I shouldn't take the gift? No, take it. You have got it from your good deeds of the Dhamma. Take it. Wish good. But don't believe that that is what it is. No. If I were to guard the senses chirag, when Aryu comes with his bag of floats, it's just another thing. Yes.
So let's say my perception about this guarding the senses is, I mean, let's say thoughts and feelings arise, and like obviously I can notice it when they rise, but I don't really have control over, what kind of thoughts and feelings arise. So the only thing I can do is let's say stop them from multiplying. But since they are rising in the first place, like I'm not maybe guarding it perfectly, and maybe let's say at the same level as you are. So what I'm thinking is that obviously, in the beginning, you're trying to guard it more consciously. You're trying to notice thoughts as they come up. But I suspect that if you have like a deeper realization, and you have, let's say, in your gut, you know that if you have this thought, then this will happen. Then you don't even have to consciously or put force into it.
Yes. So what happens is you have established morality, and when you establish morality, it means that you put a fence, and when you put a fence, the senses don't go anywhere.
So this establishing of morality, do you think it's something about practice, or do you think it's something about seeing some truth? And once you see the truth, the fence is automatically generated.
Okay. The first thing is that you need to know what is a fence. So you have to first notice that there is a fence, right? You have to buy a fence. For that, you need to buy morality, meaning you need to recite the morality. Then you have to start putting the morality, which means that you are working on morality. And when the fence is completely established, that means you don't have to re-fence it because it's already fenced. Now, there is no defense and offense. Both are not there. So I don't have to defend, and I don't have to get an offense or offend because it's already fenced. The defending happens when I want to say that it was Aryu who gave me this gift. So, that normal thing will happen. Out of love, I felt for the gift. Love for Aryu has got nothing to do with love for the gift, right? So the fence is broken. Now I will defend it. Defend. Because the fence is broken, I need to defend it. And Aryu says something to me is offensive. Offend. Like Ashutosh keeps on telling me that Vilas, don't take it seriously. I am talking more things, and I say there is nothing like that. There's nothing to take offensive of your statement. If you talk offensive, it's your problem, not my problem. But if I take offensive, I am wishing whoever I'm wishing with taint. Let's say if I were to ask Ashutosh that may you achieve this, that has taint. But the fence is not there. First, I need to put a fence. So when the fence is there, no matter what somebody brings in, it doesn't really matter. Like when Aryu comes, he is gifting me so many items, given by so many people. Right? It's a whole bag he's bringing. And any greedy person would throw Aryu out and take the bag. Right? So now, considering that, okay, we need to see what happens in the mind. So Shreyas has put something. What he's morality could be considered strength of the wood used in the build the fence. Stronger the wood, stronger the fence, stronger the sila, stronger sense restraint. Yes, correct. Okay, so I'm giving a very bare example of what is going to happen from Monday onwards at my home. That it's clear that how this can go in a bad shape if morality is not there. Morality is not there and the sense restraint are not there. It's going to be damaging for Aryu. One, it's going to be more damaging for me than Aryu. Meaning, from going up, I've gone down. And for what we can say, for deceiving an Arya, it's even more worse. I need to be very careful. That doesn't mean it's a very dangerous thing, but be aware that Aryu is more important than the gift what is bringing. And that's it, over. Then it will not bite. It won't cause a concern. Yes, Aryu.
But this Ratana Sutta said the Arya is incapable of that kind of deceiving, right? In that sense.
Six of them.
Oh, okay. Believe that.
6 of them. You see that remaining things still exist, still is relieved. He will not do 6 crimes.
But he says it cannot conceal, right? It cannot hide it.
Fine, but he has done it. And you see the above one. He says, Kinchapi so kammam karoti papakam kayena vacha udacheta sava. That is, whatever he performs by way of, whatever bad action he does by way of body, speech, or mind, is incapable of covering it up. The incapacity is the one who has seen the state of peace. So he knows that he has disturbed his own peace. So he'll come back and say, hey, Aryu, you know what? I fell in love with this shave cream, what you're bringing. So the shave cream is more important to me than you. Please forgive me. And if Aryu thinks, oh, okay, so bad. Okay, my teacher fell in love for a $2 shave cream. Oh my goodness. Too bad. But what to do? Right? It looks stupidity, but that can be the fact. Yeah, you can speak. It's okay.
No, Chirac was saying no one else is laughing. I think he's referring to Sachin.
or anyone else, you know.
No, they have closed their camera for whatever reason. So we can't question. Okay, so that is what it is. So then the last 3 lines are very important. So because it is said by the Sakka, Indra. यानि दभूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वा यानि वा अन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुस्सपूजितं बुद्धं नमस्सामसुवत्तिहो यानि दभूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वा यानि वा अन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुस्सपूजितं धम्मं नमस्सामसुवत्तिहोतु यानि दभूतानि समागतानि भूमानि वा यानि वा अन्तलिखे तथागतं देवमनुस्सपूजितं संघं नमस्सामसुवत्तिहोतु एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम्. So that ends the Ratana Sutta. So if we have this, then you have Sangha. So Buddha is Etan, Santan, Etan, Panitan. Dhamma is the four things. And the Sangha is this. So now you're covered. So now any actions you try to do will be looked by the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Because you are compromising on your peace. So you know now that the peace is gone. You're in pieces. So you don't have to worship that statue over there or some painting over there. You are doing it in your heart rather than an object over there. So somebody picks that up and tears it off. Doesn't make any difference to you. Or takes I have many Buddha statues here. They take it and throw it and stamp on it and whatever they do, it doesn't do anything. Peace is not broken. This is the Sangha. So now if these three things are there, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is there, Sila becomes automatic. So you don't have to establish Sila like a puppet or a parrot show and saying that Panati Pata Veramani, Sikkapadam Samadhiyami, Adinadana Veramani, like that. Yes.
So Sangha also is quality in me only. That way you have to see, no?
Yes. Dhamma is a quality.
Sangha.
Sorry, Sangha is a quality. Yes. That's the reason the last one, right? Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. The Savaka Sangha is Supatipanna. Patipanna, Pati is to bond. Su is good. They are bound with good things. Uju Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Uju is straightforward.
So in that way, it is nothing to do with the group of people, right? As an individual also.
Yes,
I am the Sangha, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha.
Yes, exactly.
I am Buddha, I am Dhamma, I am Sangha.
Yes, that's the reason that Jina Panjara is. You have four people who slap you all the time. That you need to remember. First person who slaps you is Aniruddha from the heart. The second person who is going to hit you crazy is Moggallana. Third person who hits you with sword is Sariputta. The fourth person who stands back and watches is Kondanya. Yes, Aryo.
I have a question. The Venerable Anuruddha was also there when it's very close by to when Buddha passed away, right? Why he had to wait for Mahakassapa?
Because he is supposed to take over.
Okay, so Anuruddha, even as senior, he's not in a position to take over.
Because Buddha could see who can take over the Sangha. We have to wait for Purana Kassapa to arrive.
But Mahakassapa got into like a dispute with Ananda in a sense, right? Later in
because he was not an Arhat.
Okay.
Who was not an Arhat?
Ananda. No. But he blamed Ananda for introducing the women to the Sangha and all that. Right?
No, even Buddha blamed him.
Okay.
It's not It's not Mahakassapa who blamed. Even Buddha took 2 days to think, and he wanted to add Gautami, his mother, into the Sangha. And he said, Ananda, what you say is true. I see how the Dhamma, which should have stayed for more than 2000 years, now reduced to 500 years. That's it. And by 1st century Common Era, Mahayana had started.
Yeah, I guess I was asking Vilas, would that imply that Buddha was disapproving of Mahayana?
It's not about disapproving or approving. He was saying that the pure Dhamma wouldn't exist.
No, but he's disapproving, right? Because he takes umbrage, or he has some resistance or opposition to inducting women in the Sangha, right?
If
So
you
that implies, yeah.
There are various suttas during the time of the Buddha itself, after they induct women into the crowd. There's one sutta, it's a very strange sutta. There is in Anguttara Nikaya. One sutta where a mother and son, they become bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, but they love each other so much that they ultimately end up in sexual intercourse. So Buddha would tell Ananda that it will create a lot of these complications. But anyway, now we don't have to.
The reason Buddha accepted because he was asked 3 times by Ananda.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He didn't contemplated and analyzed and then said, okay, 30%, 50%, okay, so I allow. Even if it is 100% bad, Buddha said yes because Ananda asked, or anybody asked 3 times. Right? Or somehow, somewhat Buddha was convinced, okay, 500 years, let it be. But at least the women are getting enlightened.
Correct.
Is that way?
Buddha, Ananda then asked Buddha, you mean to say that women cannot become an arahat? Are you trying to say that? He says, no, they can become an arahat. Then why you can't allow them? And this says that all the problem comes when woman enters. But they are going to become arhat. Yes. So you allow them. Okay. Based upon your insistence, I'm allowing you. Anyway, Ashutosh, your question is, why did he allow this thing to happen? Then the counter question to you is that, why did he allow a butcher working next to his Jetavana? He could have asked the butcher saying that you're killing so many animals on a daily basis, you will get into a bad existence. He didn't correct him.
In fact, he allowed Devdatta also.
Yes, he allowed Devdatta also.
So he's the guy who will not say no to anyone. Even if it is destroying the Sangha.
Why? Even Ajatashatru's son, he destroyed the entire Sakya clan. He stopped.
That was in past. But if Buddha knows that in future, this guy is going to enter in Sangha and kill the Sangha itself, even then he will say, okay, you can.
Because his intention is not to make something grow like crazy. His intention is to relieve people from suffering as much as he can.
Probably my understanding is he is selfless to that extent that he even don't get attached to the Sangha.
No, he doesn't, right? He is unattached to anything. He can call it a Sangha. Otherwise, he's not a Buddha. Then he's not a Tathagata at all. The meaning of Tathagata is a beautiful one. Agata, one who has arrived. Tatha, that. That sure. So there's nothing holding him on, right? He will, out of compassion, he will go and say, no, don't do it. No, I want to do it. Okay. What's my problem? See, you've seen the candle is going to switch off, right? So like I have that uh, what I can say, the candle is burning. I know it is burning due to fuel, and the fuel goes away, the candle is not there. Yes.
So to that extent, Tathagata means avatar only, but in a different way.
Whatever. Let's not confuse
He
things.
came from there.
Yes, he came from there. Yes. So Tata Agata, one who has arrived, one who have completed the journey. Yes, Haryu, you have something.
Just explaining to Chirag, Tathagata is Buddha.
Yeah. No, it's not Tathagata, it's the Buddha. In the olden days in India, a person who has crossed the shore is called Tathagata.
But he's the only one, no?
Correct. So in all the suttas, when they ask this question, Tathagata exists or doesn't exist, not about Buddha. Anybody who is called as a Tathagata, do they exist or they don't exist? So don't make it yourself that is only the Buddha. No.
Even Arhat would.
Yeah, exactly. But Arhat is not called Tathagata.
I am not talking about the Buddha dispensation. I am talking about other traditions. Even in the other tradition, the word used is Tathagata. Like in the
Is it? I am first time hearing that.
No, it's there.
No tradition is using this word.
It's there. Tathagata is there. A person who has crossed a shore is Tathagata. So just like Jina, when we say Jina, it means Jain. Jina means one over. Whoever has one over is a Jina. So Jina Panjara is the armor, or we can say literally it's a cage. One who have caged the bad things from arising is Jina Panjara, who has won over that. In the same way, if I talk about Jina and Niganta Putta, Niganta, nobody could knot him up in argument. Like in the case of Ajivika Bharadwaja, nobody could win him in his argument, and that's the reason it is also recorded that beating this guy Bharadwaja in a debate is like killing himself. His words are so straight, his words are so logical that nobody can refute it. You can't win him over through arguments. That's the reason it's called a Charvaka. Charu is good. Vaka is speech. Charvaka is a tradition who speaks so nicely that it literally convinces you.
So Bhardwaj was Charvak?
Pardon?
So Bhardwaj was from Charvak tradition?
Yeah, Bharadwaja, not the Bharadwaja Muni, what you find in the Veda.
Okay.
His name is also Bharadwaja. Like in even Buddha teaching, there are so many Bharadwaja. So this is another Bharadwaja. Okay. So don't get worried. Oh my goodness, the Vedic person is also a. No.
Yeah, no, I am not saying it is that Bhardwaj, but Hindu tradition, I thought.
Yeah, no, there's nothing
Brahminic
called as Hindu tradition. See, there's
Brahminic.
nothing. Yes, there's no Hindu tradition. So either you can call it as a Brahminical tradition, if at all you want to call it as, or you can call it as Upanishadic tradition, or you could call it as a Vedic tradition. There's nothing called as a Hindu tradition. So we just have to put that name Hindu because there's no other way to define it. But otherwise, so these traditions, when they all mingled up, they were called as ascetics. Right? So in Pali, Paribhajaka, and in Sanskrit, Parivrajaka, one who has given up to get something. Pari is to do something. Vraja is to give up. Do something, you give up something. Get something, you give up something. So in the text, when they say mendicants, it's meant for bhikkhu. That is a pure Buddhist term to say that. But for other traditions, if you see, they put it paribhajaka or parivrajaka. Okay, so 10 o'clock, 1.5 hours gone on Ratana Sutta. This is Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And tomorrow we'll go on Sila. Yes.
I guess the later part does not bring tears, but initially when you say these, then
No, I was about to cry, but then I stopped it. And in the last one, if you really reflect back, you'll have terrible tears.
okay.
Because if you see the Sakka's utterance, re-utterance, Yani da
Yeah.
bhutani samagatani, that you have to literally internalize it. Then you'll be unstoppable in tears, and it wouldn't have looked nice on the video to cry. So I thought, even though I was feeling it, I somehow controlled it.
Mm. In the beginning, I was having a little tears when
Yeah, I
you
saw
said.
that. I saw that. Even I was getting, but since I am on the video, I didn't want it to make it sound very crazy. But however, I'm very crazy with this.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. If you don't have any further questions, then we meet the evening. Yes.
Guys, Sila tomorrow?
All the four, right? Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Sila, and then you can know whether you are a Sotapanna or not, even before we start the retreat.
Oh, yeah. You waiting for me?
Yeah, you said.
Okay. Yes. So, yeah, I had a couple of questions. First thing is, at some point in this Ratna Sutta, there's a mention of Sotapanna will not take an eighth birth, and what I understand from anyways, it doesn't necessarily mean like 7 discrete births, but it means more. Like maybe like in the human realm, it's like one birth, and in a different realm, it's one birth. So
Right.
it could be a lot more births, but the definition is sort of different.
Yes, so let me tell you. There is a Lakhana Sutta, in which, not Lakhana Sutta, there is another Sutta, Chakkavati Sutta. In that Sutta, human life is 80,000 years. What's the point? So the bhava, that is the karmic force as a human being, would be 80,000 years. Because of the corruption, your body cannot sustain 80,000 years. So what happens is you will die at 80 or 100 years. So you have to be born 800 times before you complete your human existence. Okay. That much is one existence. Then the next existence, Deva. And in Uposatta Sutta, he explains what is the lifespan of a Deva. Then that has to get exhausted. The second existence is over. Then he comes down to the human existence. Again 800 years. Or whatever that number of years. Then again Deva. Again human. Again Deva. Again human. Like that he finishes 7. Yes.
Oh, I guess the 7, you cannot be human. It has to be human deva human, because otherwise it's human. There's
Exactly.
single bob.
Exactly. So what happens here is that you're developing those abilities to become a Deva. Then you become a Deva. Then that get exhausted. You come to human. Again you develop. Again you become a Deva. Then again you lose it. Again you become human. Again you go to the Deva. Again you become human. Like that.
So in the Sakadagami's case, it would be deva.
1.
But then as that they come back, it will be 2.
After going into, he has only one more existence left. Meaning, what would happen is that by the time he gets into the Sakadagami, he would have completed the human bhava. Then he gets into the one bhava of a Deva. So that's how it works. So if an Anagami is that he doesn't have any bhava to come
So
into the
Sakadagami So Sakadagami would not come back to human bhava because his only one is for deva.
No, it's not like that. There are Kama Devas, right? The sensual realm. He will be in that. So that's the reason there is not much mention about Sakadagami at all. It just says Sakadagami, but it doesn't say how and what and how many births in Deva, how many births in human. It doesn't say that. Maybe we should call up Buddha and say that, hey, why didn't you cover that?
Okay, I guess it's called one's returner. In that sense, it's one deva, one human, and he go to anagami or beyond it.
Whatever. So one means one existence, right? So one bhava, not jati. Jati will be many because he has a potentiality of coming back again and again. Let's say I am a Sotapanna for time being. What would happen? I am in Buddha Dhamma, developing it. Because of that, I get into Deva realm, finish that, come back to human realm. Again, I get a beautiful experiences, and then I get into the Buddha Dhamma. Again, I go into Deva realm. Again, I come back. Again, like that. Again, like that. Yes.
I guess Sakadagami is specifically interesting to me because you used to say in the deva realm, there's not a condition for seeing dukkha, hence not capable of practicing Dhamma in that. So I guess the last one before they go to anagami or arhat
Should be human. Should be
human. Yes. But then he only has one, so that's reserved for human. That means he cannot be a deva. He would basically be human.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what even I would take it.
Okay.
But in the suttas, he covers on the Sotapanna, Anagami, Arhat. He doesn't much cover up on the Sakadagami. So we have to make inferences from there rather than going.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more question. So also, in some point in the Ratan Sutta, you covered that. Okay, what are the 6 crimes? And like some of them are, let's say, killing an arihant and killing your parents and stuff like that. So yeah, I was wondering why is it so discrete? Like why is it these 6 very specific sins? Like my suspicion is it's to cover broad categories. Like from learning about the 6 crime, you can sort of understand. Okay, these are the kind of things you should not do, or you think it's really these 6 ones only.
These are only 6 things because they are called Anantariya Papakamma. That means Anantariya is there is no antara, space between 2 births. So, like in the case of Bimbasara and Ajatashatru, as an example, or in the case of Devadatta and Buddha. Devadatta has been following Buddha in different lives and creating problems for the Buddha. But he had not gone to an extent of injuring the Buddha. In the same way, Ajatashatru has been following Bimbasara through ages, different lives. But he had not killed as a father. Now, the Anantariya Papa Kamma is that no matter how noble you are, there is no way you can be protected. So, even though in the DN2, that is Samannapala Sutta, Ajatashatru feels that he is on the verge of becoming Sotapanna. But since he has killed his father, cannot be conceived. Yes.
My understanding is because you take papa kama because you heat up, right? Like you say, you heat up so much.
Yes.
So these speeds require so much heating up that you're literally burning in hell. So in that sense, no amount of water can cool you down.
Exactly. So you are like a burning inferno. Right.
Yeah, but
yes.
Wouldn't you say
Go ahead.
Yeah, wouldn't you say it's plausible that there are a few other categories beyond these 6, and these 6 are probably the most relatable or applicable, because I just find this discreteness of these 6 or these specific 6 to be like, I feel maybe it's because of scriptural reasons. You can't tell everything, you can't write everything down, and that's fine. There are these 6, but it's possibility that there are other crimes that are
we can add it, but all comes to killing, one form or the other. And then if you kill somebody who has given you birth,
okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
it can be any, like I can kill my brother, I can kill my sister, or whatever it is, for the property or for whatever reason I can kill or do whatever it is. Go ahead.
So then, so actually, one question I have is, because I think like Dhamma or all these principles, they're sort of universal. It doesn't matter whether you're Buddhist or not, or whether you believe in this. So the question is then, like, I mean, okay, let's say you don't believe in Buddha, but I'm sure like in Buddhism there's a Buddha, in other traditions, there are different names for it. So like even if you kill, some Tathagat, it's probably the same moral sin, right? And like in, let's say if you're in a different tradition, maybe you have a different form of Sanghā, and if you try to break that Sanghā causes schism.
All are same. Same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Somebody is noble. Who is a noble? Like let's take Christ as an example. Okay. So I curse the Christ. It's the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I kill the Christ. Let's say I was one of the person who wants to murder the Christ. Same problem, because he was not that kind.
My understanding of your question is that the Sotapanna, Sakaragami, Anagami, these things should also be common in other dispensations too. Let's say is that how you're seeing it?
Not necessarily.
No. What he's saying is the noble thing is in all, right? It can't be specific.
Let's be 6 crimes. Like it will be applicable to everyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But actually, let's
Yeah, go ahead.
But actually, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, Ariu now raises an interesting question. So let's say the prerequisite of being a Sotapanna is, you have to believe in like Dhamma, the teachings. If you have conviction and so on, then you become a Sotapanna. But again, like there are other traditions, and like every tradition has, probably leads to the same path, but have different belief systems. So let's say, what if instead of believing in Dhamma, you believe in a different kind of Dhamma?
Dhamma is Dhamma. It is what we can say, Sanatana, meaning changeless. So
right.
As long as, let us say, I am following Guru Gobind Singh, works the same.
Yeah, I guess it's about the internal transformation, like that internal transformation is the thing. Like you can believe in, because ultimately all of these are abstractions, and you can believe in one abstraction versus the other. But ultimately, I think the purpose is that if you believe in something and it is of a very high quality, then there is like an inner transformation that prevents you from.
Right. See, if I take Guru Tegh Bahadur versus one Muslim king, and he ultimately plotted to kill Guru Tegh Bahadur, and he was not perturbed by it. He was not even worried. Right? And the qualities of Guru Gobind Singh and Guru Tegh Bahadur, if you really see it, falls in line the same thing. The only difference what he made is that in order to ensure that you have to protect yourself, he said, apart from this Dhamma, just like a wild animal will come and do something to you, you need to carry 5 things as a Punjabi or as a person who believes in the Guru. Right? So that's fine. So you have a pagadi, and you have this one, and you have a small, what we can say, knife, like that. So there's nothing wrong. So now, will it end to the emancipation? No. But does it lead to anagami state? Yes. Why not?
Yeah, I think that makes sense, because ultimately, let's say our software or hardware is basically the same. Maybe we are running different software to get to the path, but let's say we are all fundamentally the same. So it's all about, I think, as I keep on discussing with Ariu, it's about your intention, or what kind of like.
Exactly. See, if like I said, when I was young, I was reading about Guru Tegh Bahadur. It really, it used to bring me chills, and so many times my hairs have gone up. I've got goosebumps reading about Guru Tegh Bahadur. Especially, I had a lot of insight with reading with Guru Tegh Bahadur more than Guru Gobind Singh.
I guess I have a question, because in the Buddha, usually I don't know if the sutta mentions it, but at least it said can be one Buddha at a time, and and there's how many
Yes, so
Buddhas?
I just have answered to that question. Can there be an emancipation? No. But can you go into higher realm? Yes. Right? If I follow Guru Tegh Bahadur, if I follow Guru Gobind Singh, or if I follow Krishna, if I follow whomever I want to follow, if I do exactly what they have said, it will take me to higher existence. And that's exactly what I want. See, if I get into anagami state, then there's no birth in the womb existence. It doesn't matter whether I follow this or that or whatever. If my intention is to get the end of the journey as an arhat, then only Buddha can do it, not anybody else. So the 8th jhana is not exclusive to Buddha. It's in all traditions. All traditions. There's nothing like it's a copyright of Buddha. But the 9th one is yes. Yes.
So let's say if we go by this, that there can be only one Buddha at any time. Like Mahavir was a contemporary of Buddha, right? So would it imply that maybe
See,
Mahavir
the
was not
quality of the Buddha, it's not a person called Buddha. That is where we are really getting worked up.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
quality of Buddha. If somebody has that quality, he's the Buddha. Simple as that. It's not a person by name Buddha. See, what we have made is, we have made Gautama as the Buddha and thinking that Gautama is the only Buddha. No. There are 27 earlier Buddhas than Gautama. In the same way, Tirthankaras, there are Rishabh. If you go through his documents or his works, it's mind-boggling. Right? So, we should know the other traditions. Absolutely, yes. But do you have time enough to understand that, or the energy to understand that, or you have that clarity? Good. If you don't have it, then you're muddling yourself.
No. I was not saying that. I was just wondering, whether because my understanding with Eru is based on what Eru tells me that maybe let's say not every path leads you to complete realization, which is the Arihant, and there are certain paths.
That is true. If anybody, forget the tradition, religion, whatever it is, if anyone who has the quality of the Buddha, he would enter into a state of complete cessation. Okay? It need not be a religion. Once you make it as a religion, it becomes a norm. And once it becomes a norm, it becomes something like a boundary. And Buddha or whatever it is, there's no boundary. There's nothing to add as a boundary.
And I think where there is a concept of soul, there is concept of eternity also. So
Yes.
that means there is no concept of cessation. Crystal clear.
Yes. So
Right.
the thing here is, Chirag, to understand here is, anyone from Guru Gobind Singh to all the Guru's traditions in the Punjab, if I were to take Guru or the Guru Mukhi, if I take that, anyone who has shown emancipation and not relied on Huda or somebody is Buddha.
And the moksha word in other tradition is different from nibbana. You should understand
Correct.
difference between moksha and nibbana. Moksha is not equal to nibbana.
Yes.
It is a total proprietary, or you can say the only concept given by Buddha. So we call him Buddha.
The thing is,
What is the difference?
No. This will now go for another couple of hours. So now
Okay.
this subject is something, it becomes literally intellectual in the end, Chirag. See, we can keep on talking, referring and all that, but that doesn't really help. Okay, just because I don't want to cut you off, moksha is from two words, muhu aksha, meaning you are blind, now you have opened up your eyes. Aksha is eyes, muhu is closed, somewhat closed. So I'll give you an example. So there's one, this is my story. This is not there anywhere in the Upanishad. So don't take it that, oh, it is there in the Upanishad. This is my experience of it. Let's take an example that you have a mud pot and it is completely colored and completely covered with a nice golden outer. And your father, his father, 10 generations father keep on giving it to that. And my father gives it to my hand, saying that, dear son, ensure that this doesn't fall down. Keep it very safely. It's our family property. Okay. Now, one fine day, while I was doing puja, it falls down and it breaks open. You see, that's only shit there. So I see that out of 8,000 plus years, people have carried only shit, thinking there's something there. I said, oh my God, this is what my father gave, and his father gave, and his father gave. That is moksha. Got it? Nibbana is unbound.
Freedom.
Okay. Now, realization in a way is moksha. If you are self-realized, meaning you find that there's no self in real sense, it's moksha. If you are completely emancipated, wherein you know for sure there's no further existence and you know the path to the further existence, instead of saying that God will take care of me in the end, call it as Khuda, or call it as Jesus, or call it as Muhammad, call it as Krishna or Rama or someone or whatever. It means that I'm still in Muhu Aksha. That means my eyes are completely not open. It's partially open. So now rely on a God like Vishnu or whoever it is, or the messenger of God, in this case is Muhammad and Jesus, and they will take me to heaven, and then they will do something. The God, they will show me the God, right? Because I am the messenger of the God. Gabriel can take me, or Abraham can take me, or somebody can take me. And that is not emancipation. Like I am a follower of Krishna. I believe I go to Krishna Loka, the land of the Krishna. But from there, something has to happen. I believe in Vishnu. So I go into the land of the Vishnu Loka. But something should happen after that. I don't know what is going to happen after that. Whereas here, it's not like that. Meaning, the 8 jhana is all of this. There's a perception and non-perception. You know that there is a perception of Vishnu or Shiva or this or that, and that perception exists. And also you know that there is beyond something of that, but you don't know what it is. So you end up in being in 31st realm of existence. It's literally peaceful. Because you don't know when the perception is going to come back. As long as it doesn't come back, wait. So I merge with that consciousness, which I believe is God. Got it? So the Guru Mukhi also talks of the same thing. The Krishna consciousness also talks of the same thing. Jesus consciousness also talks about the same thing. Everything talks about the same thing. So to that extent, you can be in that realm forever. Right? If I follow Guru Gobind Singh, I can get there. No doubt. I don't have to follow this. Absolutely, I don't have to follow. Yes.
So then I was thinking, so let's say I studied in Banaras for 5 years, right? And there is some, let's say, myth about Banaras that if you were to die there, you would never be reborn. So do you think they're implying like
I was reborn.
Huh?
I was reborn. I was a teacher in Kashi.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I was trying to understand whether it's Nibbana is
No,
something.
I gave you the answer. Forget all of that long story short.
Yeah. Okay.
I myself was a teacher in Banaras.
Uh-huh.
And I had a huge followers of students. And I had knowledge of 94, or I used to have 94 psychic powers out of 108. Now I have only 16 instead of 94. So I have got down rather than going up. And I used to take regular bath in the Ganga, and not this Ganga what we have, and that Ganga at that time.
But I think you're asking, does it imply something?
No,
about
it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm just wanting to clarify to him is that it's just a myth rather than reality.
No. I know that is a myth, but I guess what I was asking was, it looks like Nibbana is only like a concept or idea in Buddhism, and like maybe when other paths talk about let's say awakening or realization, that's moksha. So I was just wondering, like because I've also heard of this concept that you're never reborn, and you get free from cycle of life, like lives and deaths.
Exactly. Agreed.
So
Agreed.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but I thought that concept was also defined outside. Again, I don't want to prolong this discussion, because again, I think my interest is only in like full, emancipation. But I was just wondering, because because to me, what I'm understanding is, it looks like every other path or tradition, maybe they only get to eighth jhana, and like Buddhism only has talks about full cessation. Is that true?
That's what it is.
Hmm.
There is no other way to define it. That is true.
So other tradition also do not come to human being again, but for infinite time. After that infinite time, they have to come back, or you can say till the end of the world, they will not come back. Some, but after the world is ended and new world is created, everyone comes back.
See, for this reason, Chirag, I encourage you to read Aganya Sutta. He knows it. Our friend Aryu knows it. Before he leaves America, anyway, you are there at his home. You both can read after this session. So you both can read together. Since you are spending time, you will come to know how it all starts. It's a funny thing, right? So if you see that, we all have been there in some level. And we are coming down and down and down and down and down, and again go up and up and up and up and up, and again come down and down and down and down and down. Right? It's not that it's a permanent thing, you will be human, or a permanent thing, you'll be Deva, a permanent thing, will be Brahma, or whatever it is. It's the state of the mind. If the mind is pure enough, it will establish itself as that. If the mind is not pure enough, it will establish as something. So if I am born in a Punjabi Jat family, that is, Jat is a Brahmin family, then I will be working as something. If I am in a Punjabi some other family, then I can be something else. So I can be in that tradition, whatever it says, I am there in that. But suddenly I realize when I read Guru Tegh Bahadur, or I read Guru Gobind Singh, and then it transforms me. So when it transforms, what happens? The mind will get established there. And when the mind gets established there, you will be reborn there. That's as simple as that. Wherever the mind establishes, so you establish. If the mind is in the sensual realm, you will be established in sensual realm. When we say emancipation, it means that it shouldn't get established anywhere. And what's the process for that? There's no process. You have to ultimately go to God. Right? And that is not there in Buddha Dhamma. If you take Tirthankara, Jain, Mahavira, he says there is a soul, and soul has to get released. It's not about anatma or atma or whatever. He says that consciousness is always there. Like if you take the Upanishad tradition, Satchitananda, Sat is existence, Chit is the consciousness, Ananda is bliss. The consciousness is always blissful and ever exist. It becomes Sasattavada. I can go into Uchchedavada, annihilationist view. That means after the body is done, the chitta also is gone. That ends it. So one tradition will say it passes. Another tradition will say it will get extinguished. Buddha Dhamma is neither accepts Sasattavada nor rejects it. it neither approves Uchchedavada nor rejects it. It says that consciousness is going to be there as long as condition matches. The condition doesn't match, then the consciousness cannot be there. It's not independent. Whereas all tradition says that it is independent of whatever is happening. That means you merge with the God, because God is permanent and you are temporary. So you do something, you adopt the quality of the God, so that in the end you merge with that. In Buddha Dhamma, there is nothing called merger, and there is nothing called separation. If you are separated, then you have to merge. If you are not at all separated, where is the question of merging? Which looks like Advaita, non-dual. So we will now go into a different road, which will take the minimum time. Will be ending up. This session will be 1 p.m. India time. If I get into this.
Yeah, I guess it's a good question in this context because
No, I like it. I like it,
established-
but we need to get into so much of depth. Number one, Chirag. Number two is that you need to practice something. Then you will see it for yourself. Otherwise, it will only make you question yourself. Okay, in this, in that, in this, in that, and that will keep on making your mind oscillate between two things. So you need to settle down with something, and try it, and then see that, yes, it is working. And now, next what? Next what? That will. Not that I should cut you off. I'm not cutting you off at all. So don't take me in that. But this will take time, because now you have to go into other traditions, see what they say, what this says, compare, contrast. Then I don't know how much you will be convinced about it.
Yeah, I think for me, let's say the reason I was asking this was, because let's say my only goal is, let's say, full cessation. I don't care about 8 jhana and so on and so on. So I think that's why it was important for me to
You
know.
have to care. It's not that you don't have to care. You have to care. Like from San Francisco, let's say you are going to Los Angeles. You need to care whether Los Angeles is come or not. Right? So you can't say I don't care. Los Angeles comes, and then I go to San Diego. Then I am at the end of it. Then I went to Mexico. I wanted to go in LA, but I went to Mexico. I don't know what is Mexico. Now I'm going to West Indies. I like that. So I can't really say that, right? I need to know where I'm going. So you need to see all the 8 jhanas and for yourself, and then it tells you what are these. Okay, that is a different experience. See, knowing is one thing, doing is another thing. Like to know, I can know 100 things. That's what I feel. So don't say that I don't care about that. I want only this.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean, I've been, let's say, reading about like Buddha since a very young age. So, like, I think one of the first things he taught me is, don't believe in anything unless you try it for yourself. So, like, even for me, if I want to get anywhere, it's always from my own experience. Like, if I see it happening, I believe in it. I don't necessarily believe in something, because someone told me.
You shouldn't. So for that, you need to practice. So you need to see, let's say we have done Buddha, Dhamma, and Sanghā. You need to really see for that. And then if you see it, if it is stopping there, that means you are on the path. If it is not stopping there, then you have to better follow other tradition, whatever you are. Even Buddha, so many people approached him and said that give me ordination. He said, no, I'll not ordain you because you're from other tradition. I suggest you follow in this life that tradition only. Even though they said that, look, I'm ready to give up that tradition. He said, no, follow that tradition. It will help you. So we need to see for ourselves, Chirag. See, the thing is, now we spoke so much of Buddha, so much of Dhamma, so much of Sanghā today, right? What it brings to you is yours, right? If it doesn't do anything to you, that means it's not for you. It doesn't matter what Aryu is doing. Don't bother about him. He might be saying something to you and say, okay, Aryu is nice. Right? It should give you that wow or aha moment and say, oh yeah, this is correct. And that's how it works. No matter how much I try, it doesn't really do anything. I might know it, but I have not experienced anything. So I feel I am deprived of that experience. I'm just blindly following it. I think somebody has got it, so I should be getting it. No. You shouldn't believe. Even for Ariyu, when he comes here, he shouldn't believe that I'm an anagami. Some idiot is sitting here, so I need to test him out. And that's how it should be. So I told him even before coming, you see where my eyes are, whether I'm getting into that perfume or this or that shave cream or whatever things is there. If it is, then this guy is faking. You should be sure about whom you're following, otherwise it's wrong. Right? So I've asked him. I'm very open to that. Open for inspection.
But now you've said it so many times. There's no way you're consistent.
No, that is called reiterating, because I don't want to get into that, and I don't want you to lose seeing it also. You shouldn't rely. You shouldn't rely. You should rely on your own judgment. That is what he says to Kalamas. Go by your judgment. You have to judge. You should be sure. Right? If you're sure, there's no problem. If you're not sure, then the problem, because he has given doubt to you and you're flying away from this place with doubt. This is even more harmful because that blocks you. Same thing with you, Chirag. It's the same for every one of us. I might be saying so many things. Don't take it. Evaluate. It's worth it, do it. Not worth it, forget it. Then only that respect will come, Chirag. Otherwise, it will not come. You'll feel. But once you get that faith and respect, it's unshakable because you've seen it's working. So there's nothing to shake you off. Otherwise, anybody can shake you off, saying that, hey, Vilas is such a bad-mouthed person. You say, yeah, even I felt so.
What?
Bad-mouthed, like who says bad things?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bad mouth in the sense that I'll pull down Shankaracharya or this Charya, that Charya, and say that blah 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 and all that. Or Guru Gobind Singh for a change, and because he's a Punjab guy, and then I want to irritate him, say that your Guru Gobind Singh is not I don't think he's an accomplished fellow, but such a nice guru. Okay, such a nice guru. If you really follow him, it's beauty. I have no questions on anyone. Yes, go ahead.
The other day I was at this party and then people come to tell me, they say Chinese Buddhism, he said, is best. He said there are people that's even more enlightened than Buddha. So I was like, okay.
Yes, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me jump into the meetings, office meetings at least.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Today
Okay.
is Friday. Today is not Saturday. I would have spent a lot of time with you.
No, that's good. That's good enough. So yeah, thank you for the teaching.
Thank you.
No worries. All right. See you here then.